Thank you for joining me. We're about to have our last visit in which we turn this project that we have worked on into something that we could use possibly on the cover of a journal. So what we've done, we're going to undo. First thing, of course, that we're going to make sure that we do is keep this needle handy. So I just set it opposite of the way the other ones are. And I usually remember. Okay, off come the magnets. Okay. Now, if you will remember, there they are all together. If you will remember, our red thread is here to show the exact size of the piece. Now, what we're going to do is, let me bring this up closer. Okay, let's get this magnifier out of the way, and let's look here. This thread is one on the outside. In other words, this was the space we used. Remember, needlepoint is all about the threads, not the holes, and this red thread was dropped into the holes. So this is, technically speaking, the outside, or the thread on the outside, to make everything safe and sound, that we will have enough of a, we will make sure that we have enough room that we are not going to disturb that thread. So if we want our fringe, let's call it, to be 1, 2, 3 threads wide, that's okay, this is the one that's the safety net. So this is 1, 2, 3. That's about where we are going to want to cut. And that leaves us a little bit of a line. So we have the safety net and 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's move this around. And do that same thing again, because we don't want to have our fringe off kilter. So we have this. There's our red thread. Here's our safety net. And 1 thread, 2 threads, 3 threads, and there's where we're going to cut. Okay. Let me make sure. Here's the safety. Here's our safety net, and 1, 2, 3, and there's where we're going to cut. Let's do it again. Okay, here we have our safety net, and 1, 2, 3, and there is where we're going to cut right down those holes. Okay, and last but not least, so here we have, and I'm going to give that a cut off right there, because that was going to be in my way. All right, here we have our red basting. Here we have our safety net right there, and 1, 2, here we have our safety net right there, and 1, 2, 3, and that's where we're going to cut. So it's time now to say goodbye to this contraption. Oops, we have a couple of little pieces of lace left over, and this I'm going to turn over into the garbage and get some of the dust and threads out of it. Okay, now we will put this heavy baby about down on the floor, out of harm's way. And this time I'm not trying to use a knife. I brought the sensible tool for the job. I do hope that you have had a pleasant weekend. And some of you had probably had a holiday. I hope that you enjoyed it. You can dig a little bit here to get under. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Did it cut? No. Let's dig down instead of sideways, Carol. And last but not least, and here we are. Now, I am going to apply a little alcohol here. I've become rather safety conscious. Let's have a good look, because after no, there's nothing open there, just a poke. After chemo and what it does to your body, I do try to take care of it now. It's really just take that out of there. Let's get this gone out of here completely. Good. And going to do it again to make sure. Safety net, 1, 2, 3. And this will run right up next to that thread. That one break? No, it did not. And here's our pin. Here is our pin, and we can remove one, and might as well just take this off. And let's take off one, and take this one off also. I think I'm just going to go back and do this. You don't need to watch me do this 3 times. So here is number 2, sorry. And here is number 3. Be careful. I want to get that one thread. And this is the finished edge that I will have. Now I'm going to do my housekeeping and get these done so that you don't need to watch me do that over and over again. Or I could just pull these out one at a time. One, 2, 3. Oh. Okay. And we'll take out 2. And we'll take out 2. And we'll do 1. They're faster. 2. 3. 4. sure. Safety measure. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to cut. We're going to cut right up. We're going to cut right up there. Make sure I get it in the right one. So that's 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 2, 3. Check that, because you know the police might come. 1, 1, 2, 3. These threads, there we go. There we go. This is not, as I've said, this is not the best quality canvas. This is a lot easier to do on the good stuff, but don't we know about that? Okay. And I'll go on. Now we're going to turn this upside down and pull out our red basting. That one's done. There we go. Let's get this one. Okay, and when that happens, we are sure to get that out as gently as possible and put that puppy right back down in there where he belongs. So I'm going to finish this up and get my workspace ready for its picture, and we'll talk about what we did, and I hope that you have enjoyed. I'll be right back. Well, I hope you have enjoyed our 6-part series on slow stitching on needlepoint canvas. If you will remember, we painted the background with Ceramcoat acrylics, and we laid out our masking tape to make the design, giving us 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants. And then we made up our own stitch to just bring a little pop to the center of that, which a lot of which was hidden, but that's what happens in slow stitching. And then we laid on our piece of fabric and did some stitching on it, and decided to use these flowers. And we stamped the image of this flower here, and we just had a very light showing, which was enough to give us the outside of it. And then we did our lazy daisy stitches and our French knots, and did a French knot in the center of each of those flowers, and we used some fuzzy stuff in the center of the leaves. So, if you have enjoyed, I hope that you would consider giving me a thumbs up, leaving a comment. I do answer them, and I would hope that you would consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to be working on some journal ephemera next, because I've been watching Rachel at Roxy Creations on YouTube doing something, and I thought it might be fun to try something similar. And during that time, I'll be kind of cooking up in my mind something to do for our next project. I thought I might take some time to teach you some stitches that, of course, work well on needlepoint canvas, but they certainly also work very well as regular slow stitching. So that will be coming in a few weeks. I have enjoyed creating for you, and hope that you have enjoyed it, and I will be seeing you shortly. Bye now.